Let's go. Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. Today I'm gonna show you a nice, very tanky leveling guide and build for the Necromancer. Since I only play on hardcore, it's very important for me to get a character that lasts a bit, and even if I have a little lag or desync or get unlucky, I won't die immediately. That's why I have a full tank high damage build. As you can see, I've already quite some dead heroic characters, and we are on veteran level 2 by the way. So we are not playing on the easiest, but in contrary we are playing on the highest leveling difficulty that is possible. What is important for the build, let's start with the talents maybe. At the very top I started with Hemorrhage, and I went Enhanced Hemorrhage and Initiates Hemorrhage, mostly because it gives us sustain during a boss fight, because we get blood orbs. That's basically like a potion, it will heal us. So we have basically endless sustain. We basically cannot die if we don't get one-shotted, even without potions. And we have Initiates Hemorrhage to get Fortification. Fortification is very important for our build, because we always want to be fully fortified, because that's where our defense and our damage comes. Next, and this is the most important talent here, it's Blood Surge. You want to max out Blood Surge as soon as you can, like that should literally be your priority. Blood Surge is an AoE that is stronger the more enemies are around, and with this upgrade it also heals you by quite a lot, and the more enemy the more healing. And with this upgrade here, Paranormal Blood Surge, can overpower. It basically overpowers after 5 attacks while you're healthy. That means over 80% HP, you gain 1 stack of overwhelming blood, and with 5 stacks your next Blood Surge is a guaranteed overpower. Overpower deals a lot of damage depending on our life and fortified life. And since we are a full tank build, it becomes really crazy strong. So we are a full tank, of course. That's the main reason is for staying alive, right? But the added bonus is we also do crazy damage. I will show you the passives a bit later. 1 point in Blood Mist is important, the rest here, the upgrades are not so important. I picked Dreadful Blood Mist though for faster fortification if I needed it. But the main reason to use Blood Mist is if you ever drop below, because you come invulnerable while you use it. And you heal a bit, but you also can use potions while you're in Blood Mist. So it's basically your escape button or your oh shit button. And you can also use it while you're CC'd often. Then I picked Iron Maiden. I haven't upgraded it yet though, so only 1 rank. And Enhanced Iron Maiden, because then it doesn't cost any essence anymore, and also it generates essence even. It's very good for AoE. Then we have Abhorrent Iron Maiden, because that heals us for each enemy killed, so that's another big lifesteal basically. This passives here, you should finish out all of them at some point. This here not necessarily. The blood orbs healing your minions is not so important, especially if you don't play with minions, then it doesn't even matter. But the others you should all pick. This here gives you more lifesteal when you're below 50% HP. This here gives you basically 18% damage increase, because we are basically always healthy, that means over 80% HP. This here gives us more fortification, which is really important. And this here improves our overpower damage by 30% while we are healthy, which is also really important. Then we have this passive. It makes us get 9% less damage, which is also very important for hardcore, because we barely get damage nowadays anymore. And we deal 6% more damage to close enemies, and since we often get swarmed, we get a lot of value out of this talent. Next we have here Bonstorm, but I'm gonna be absolutely frank with you, you could pick Blood Wave or anything, it does really not matter to be honest. I think Bonstorm is nice, not so much because of the damage, because it's kinda negligible for us. I picked it mostly for the 15% damage reduction while Bonstorm is active, that is quite handy. So extra survivability. and also because we get 20% crit chance, but it's not so important. But since you don't have another choice anyway, you might as well pick it up. This passive here is really good, gives me 18% flat damage reduction. We get 16% out of it because we keep the golem, but you can play without the golem for this build, it does not matter. You can play without golem, but we don't play with skeletons. You can probably make a skeleton build as well, it will just be way less strong, so I don't recommend it. At least don't use the mage skeletons, and I'm gonna show you why. As our key passive, we're gonna pick Rough Mass Vigor. It gives us more life, so it makes us even more tanky, and very important here, after being healthy for 15 seconds, your next blood skill overpowers. So we have another skill that gives us guaranteed overpower, so you will basically overpower left, right and center. All the follow-up talents do not matter at all, you can pick them wherever you want, you can put them to more maximum. So basically you just want to get passives basically. If you feel frisky, you can upgrade Hemorrhage, but it does not matter. You can pick whatever you want after this. And we're basically done with all these talents at level 37 or so, and we are basically done with all the passives we need. Of course there's still some more passives, especially this one here will be really good for our build, Memento Mori. I can really recommend you getting that too, so with 40 I'll be done with it, and I'll show you now why. If we go to the Book of Death, we want to sacrifice our warriors and mages, our skeletons basically. It doesn't really matter what you pick here. I like the 18% non-physical resistance, because in hardcore we really want to become as tanky as possible, right? And that's why I love this extra tankiness. You could pick 6% increased critical strike chance. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. I'd rather go with the defense. And the third one is increased shadow damage, which is completely pointless for us. With the mages though, it's very important to pick the bone one. Your overpower damage is increased by 47%. And don't forget, with the other passive here, with this one, Memento Mori, we upgrade their sacrifice bonus by 60% overall. So this here becomes even stronger, and this is where our main damage comes from overpowers. And the golem doesn't really matter. You can literally do whatever you want with the golem. You can keep him, you can pick any upgrade, it does not matter. I picked the upgrade that he makes enemies vulnerable sometimes for 3 seconds, so they get even more damage. But I could as well sacrifice him. Like I said, crit damage doesn't matter too much. Of course you can increase the damage if you want, so you will do even crazier damage. Or you pick the more maximum life, also quite nice in hardcore, or the attack speed, but I think it doesn't matter. You pick whatever you enjoy. There is one important thing though we need to pick up, and that's an aspect we can get in a dungeon. It's the aspect for Blood Surge. It says Blood Surge Nova echoes again after a short delay, dealing 70% less damage. And that is very important, because Blood Surge is literally our number one damage source. And when it deals overpowered damage, the echo also does overpowered damage. So it gives us a crazy amount of burst. Other items you always want to use on a hardcore character, but you can also play it on normal, of course, but hardcore is just like you also want to stay alive, is a shield. We always pick up the shield and the one-hand weapon, of course. It doesn't matter what one-hand weapon you pick up, you can pick any one-hand weapon. I basically always pick the highest item level one, but it doesn't matter. And here you see if an aspect active, but this active is also, you can completely ignore this aspect. It has nothing to do with the build, it's just the random highest shield I got and during leveling, and that's the only reason I pick it. If you feel frisky and you want a second aspect for extra survivability, I recommend you this here. When you drop below 80% HP, you get basically a bubble that saves you. It can be helpful, it's not mandatory, it's just like, yeah, you get it from a quest reward, the aspect as well, so it's quite easy to get it. And that's pretty much our build. So here you see, now we get a guaranteed overpower because we have 15 stacks, and here you see a number later on whenever we cast it, and when it's 5, when it says 5, that means our next ability will, our next Blood Surge will also overpower. I will just show you now in this run, okay? And like I said, with the golem you can do whatever you want, and that's a leveling guild. We didn't prepare any gear, like none of this item is anything special. I just picked up whatever dropped, basically. The highest item level that dropped I equipped. I didn't care at all. I only used the aspect. That was the only important thing. But this ring, of course, is really good for us because it also does increased overpower damage, so you want to stack that overpower damage as high as possible. And that fortification generation is also helpful, so that's why I keep that ring, but the rest of the item I didn't even pay any attention. Okay. Are we ready? I think we are. Let's go. Yeah, I think that was the perfect showcase. So, yeah. You see, now we are fortified. Whenever it's fortified, we do a lot more damage because of the Book of the Dead, right? Because of the Skeletal Mages one, 47% more damage. And I had set up both guaranteed overpowers, that's why we did a lot of damage now. Okay guys, so please leave a like if you liked the video. I will upload more videos in future, also about other classes. I'm streaming on Twitch, you find my address in the description of the video. Anyway, have a nice day and see you next time. Bye bye.